You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football Podcast. Hello everyone, my name is Ahmet Turgut. Next 15 minutes we'll talk about what's going to be happening in the coming week of Week 15 in the Turkish Super Lig. So stay tuned for next 15 minutes. We'll talk about what games are on and we'll give you some inside information from the Turkish football too. Week 15 will start on Friday. And on Friday, there's only one match. And as you know, right now, Trabzonspor sits on top of the Turkish Super Lig with a huge gap, all by themselves. With 36 points, the closest teams are Konyaspor and Hatayspor, and the gap between them are 10 points. The gap between Trabzonspor and Istanbul Big Three clubs are with Fenerbahçe 12 and Galatasaray with 14 and Beşiktaş with 16 points. Guess what? Beşiktaş kicks off the Week 15 today on Friday against Kasımpaşa. This match will be in Istanbul. Kasımpaşa, the relegation zone team, has only 10 points. Beşiktaş with 20 points, and Beşiktaş hasn't won a match. Actually, last 5 matches they have not won at all, and during the 6 matches they have only 1 win. This is very bad for Beşiktaş team. Plus, they're out of the Champions League matches. They have one more match against Dortmund coming up next week in the middle of the week. This match on Friday, which is today, it's going to be very important for Beşiktaş. It will probably decide if Sergen Yalçın is going to stay with this team or not. Because if Beşiktaş loses this match or gets a draw, gets 1 point, things are not going to be looking good. It's not looking good for Beşiktaş. But in case of losing points, because there are many teams with 17 and 18 points in the bottom of in the mid-level of the teams. So when those teams win this weekend, if Beşiktaş doesn't win their matches, they're going to be in trouble. Very deep trouble. So Kasımpaşa is desperate for 4 points too. Should be a very interesting match. Kasımpaşa's coach Hakan Kutlu will not be on the sideline because he was suspended 1 game through the Turkish Football Federation Disciplinary Committee. So Beşiktaş has to win this match, but look for surprises from Kasımpaşa because they are desperate for a point or points in this match. So that's the only match on Friday. There are 3 matches on Saturday, and Alanyaspor, the team with 24 points, will be at home against Sivasspor. Sivasspor with 16 points, and this should be a very good match. Alanyaspor trying to get up there, the top 3, but with the win, they could push that top 3 level if they win this match against Sivas. But Sivas, last weekend, they won their match. So under Rıza Çalınbay, Sivas is looking good. We should be, most likely, this match will probably end in a draw. In Trabzon, Turkish Super Lig top team with 36 points. The best formed team in the Turkish Super Lig has not lost a match this season in 14 matches so far. They will face another most formed team in the last 6 matches, Adana Demirspor. Remember Adana Demirspor one time? They were in the relegation zone. They are with 20 points, and they're trying to claim up on the ladders in the league. So this should be a very important game. I would call this match of the week. Trabzonspor will host Adana Demirspor. I don't know Mario Balotelli will start this match, but you look for huge match. It could be anywhere. It could be a draw. You might see Adana Demirspor winning this match too. If that does happen, they will be the first team beating Trabzonspor this season. But Trabzonspor has very good team. They got a good defense, good goalkeeper. They got a good guys scoring the goals up front. And I should say Trabzon should win this game 2-1. And also, last match on Saturday, Galatasaray, another big guns of Istanbul, not doing too good in the Turkish Super Lig. They're doing fantastic in the Europa League, but that's not the story in the Turkish Super League. So they will face Altay. Galatasaray with 22 points and Altay with 17 points. Altay is coached by former Galatasaray coach Mustafa Denizli. This should be a very interesting match because Mustafa Denizli knows Galatasaray team. The one other minus plus for Galatasaray team, Galatasaray coach Fatih Terim will not be on the sideline again because, as I mentioned to you in my podcast, Galatasaray coach Fatih Terim has to serve 5 more matches his suspension. So Galatasaray will be at home with the 12th man. Could they beat Altay? Well, that's going to be tough, but they should. We'll see what happens there. On Sunday, there are 4 matches. Kayseri will be at home against Antalyaspor. This is a very important match too. Kayserispor with 17 points and Antalyaspor is with 18 points. See what I mean? These teams, if one of them wins, Beşiktaş with 20 points, if they lose or get a draw, they're going to be in trouble because they're going to be dropping down in the standings. This is very important. And also on Sunday, Hatayspor will be at home against Başakşehir. These two teams, Hatayspor with 26 points and Başakşehir 22 points. Another most formed team in the league. Remember Başakşehir? They were in the bottom of the league when the league started. Under Emre Belözoğlu, they've been winning the match. Last 6 matches, they have won 5 and draw 1. But guess what happened? Just yesterday, they lost in the Turkish Cup against the 3rd division team, Bodrumspor. They are out of the Turkish Cup. So Emre Belözoğlu and Başakşehir got their taste of loss in the Turkish Cup match. We'll see what happens in this match, but Hatayspor looks good. I think Hatayspor will beat Başakşehir in this match. In Giresun, another important match. Giresun with 16 points, the team that beat Beşiktaş last weekend, will face Fatih Karagümrük. Fatih Karagümrük with 22 points. Fatih Karagümrük is a good team. Even though Giresunspor beat Beşiktaş last weekend, I believe this match should end with a draw or Fatih Karagümrük should win this match. Last match on Sunday, Fenerbahçe will be at home. Fenerbahçe with 21 points and Rizespor with 10 points. It is must win for Fenerbahçe. Fenerbahçe is boiling because, as I mentioned to you in my last podcast, the coach Pereira is about to go. They're looking for a coach right now as we speak. So after this match, look for Fenerbahçe replacing Pereira as a coach. So Fenerbahçe should win this match, but Fenerbahçe Rizespor match is always something different because Rizespor plays very good against Fenerbahçe team. Don't be surprised if Rizespor gets a draw out of this match. But Fenerbahçe overall should win this match easily. On Monday, there are 2 matches, and Konyaspor will be at home against Yeni Malatyaspor. Konyaspor is with 26 points, and Yeni Malatyaspor has 13 points. Yeni Malatyaspor doesn't look good at all. And another match on Monday, Göztepe will be hosting Gaziantep. Göztepe desperate for points. They have only 11 points, and Gaziantep with 18 points. So this is pretty much do or die match for Göztepe after tying at home against Fenerbahçe last weekend. So these are the matches. There are many, many important matches in week 15. It's going to be a fight for points, and it's going to be a very tough weekend as we get closer to end of the first half of the season. If we look at it this way, a lot of pundits, as like myself too, I see Trabzonspor opening the gap more. But just don't forget this. While the big guns has lost many matches in the last 7 or 6 weeks, Trabzonspor could do that too. So they're perfect score right now with perfect record. That doesn't mean they're going to finish with a perfect record at the end of the season. So there's a lot of matches to be played. But we could tell you this, we have not seen anything like this in a long time in the Turkish Super Lig. Having Trabzonspor sitting on top of the Turkish Super Lig with this wide gap, 36 points. And while Fenerbahçe is behind 12, and Galatasaray with 14 points, and Beşiktaş with 16 points. This is a disaster for Turkish big guns, as we call them, Turkish giants. They're not giants this year. They're not giants this season. They look bad. Even though Galatasaray looks good in the European competition, Europa League, they sit on top of their group. But that doesn't mean they don't play the same football in the Turkish Super Lig. As I told you last podcast, the rotations are killing these teams in the Turkish Super League. So that is what's happening with week 15. We'll come back, talk about week 15. We'll recap the week 15 after Monday, and I'll give you a couple of insights. As I mentioned to you, Fatih Terim was suspended 6 games, and also just today, İrfan Can Kahveci and from Fenerbahçe and Necip Uysal from Beşiktaş was banned 2 matches from Turkish Football Federation Disciplinary Committee. And also, good news, a little news note from Europe. Murat Yakın, Turkish coach, will be coaching in the World Cup. He is the Swiss national team coach. He will be in the World Cup 2022. Also, Tayfun Korkut, former Beşiktaş player, former Beşiktaş coach, he'll be coaching Hertha Berlin remaining season in the German league. And this past weekend, I forgot to mention to you in my last podcast, Mustafa Alsancak Stadium in Izmir, named for Mustafa Denizli, the great Galatasaray and Turkish national team player who coached Beşiktaş, Fenerbahçe, and Galatasaray, now coaching Altay team. And the new Alsancak Stadium was named for him. It will be called Alsancak Mustafa Denizli Stadium. So this is pretty much everything so far. And good luck all the teams that is going to be playing in the week 15 starting on Friday. And the week 15 will come to end on Monday night. And then we'll probably talk to you on Tuesday in this podcast. Give you more information about these matches. We'll recap the week 15. So wherever you listen to your podcast, listen to my podcast, and also tell your friends. This is the only Turkish football podcast right now. It's going on all over the online apps or wherever you listen to your podcast. So thank you for listening. See you next time. I'll be with you again on Tuesday. Thanks. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you live at.